Alright, I'm coming in, guys.
Okay.
What's up?
What happened?
Tell us all about all the things.
Well, we definitely need to talk because...
I know.
Alright, so basically, like, I came in here saying I was going to play an honest game and open, and I was, and Austin is lying.
Yeah, I know.
So much. And it literally, like, I went to tribal and I caused it, and I didn't cause a scene, but I addressed everything. I was like, give me the opportunity to show you I'm not lying, and they still voted me out. What's it called?
Who voted for you? With you?
Well, I don't know who voted for me. Like, from people that told me.
Count?
It was 5 for me,
Yeah.
3 him.
3 Austin?
Yeah.
Wait.
No, 3 me, 3 on Austin and 4 on me. So me and 2 other
damn.
people.
Okay.
But didn't you merge at 8 and 8?
Yeah.
What happened to the extra vote?
Well, I guess it was on me, but...
Oh, okay. So
Like
5-3.
you had enough.
So
5-3.
who do you think you convinced? The 2 reds?
Luke.
Okay.
And...
David?
Red girl.
Lachey.
Oh. That's a shake up. That's interesting.
Crazy.
So then who else on the blue?
Everybody else just lied to me.
But who was it?
Yeah.
Kayla.
Uh-huh.
Kayla, Josh, David. Jess was on red.
Yeah.
And then...
It's interesting that...
And then Austin.
It's interesting that Jess and Lachey... I'm so confused by our tribe right now. I can't even.
My mind
I
is
believe
blown.
that Luke would believe you.
Luke voted to keep me. I know for a fact.
That I believe, because I wanted to keep Luke.
Yeah, I know for a fact Luke kept me.
What excuse you... Because, like...
There's no excuse. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's the fact that...
Like, I don't understand how people are so blind for so long.
I'm very straightforward. I'm obviously a bigger threat than him. They're not gonna say that. There's no reason to keep someone who idled someone out and flipped the vote on someone.
Yeah, they all know he's lying.
They all probably know he's lying. And they no one's gonna... I'm definitely... Well, I'm not even in the jury, but I would never give him my vote. He can't compete, so it's easy to get him out.
Gosh, let's hope he shows up. Yeah, let's hope he shows up in the 10 next.
Actually, I really hope he stays in there, because I don't want to share this time with him.
Well, so here's what's going to happen. Is it's going to be in the middle of the night.
Yeah, we think they're getting a night challenge happening.
Which means then probably they'll wake up in the morning and go to jury.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point, maybe after that vote, or maybe a couple others, there will be some playback. Which the journey I went on was to decide if this was happening or not, and I said yes.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tochi, you're getting a look at the new Turloose. Caitlin decided to remove herself from the game due to her knee injury. So we are at 7 even on both tribes. So a little tradition here at Outlast. Sometimes we like to throw in a fun little nighttime endurance challenge. That's what we're gonna do tonight. Tribe that lasts the longest wins immunity. Other tribe will go to tribal council in the morning. All right, so no tribal tonight. We'll go to tribal council in the morning. All right, tribes, you're gonna stack the blocks on your disc to spell the word safe. So you'll be holding safe in your hands for immunity for as long as you can.
Jess, actually, you're going to be...
I'm gonna give you a new 3 minutes starting now.
Yeah.
I think... Yeah.
If I see it turning.
All eyes on the board, please.
If I see it like leaning or anything.
I think it's high on the other side. The other side low.
All right, last 15 seconds
Lachey,
for
are
any
you able to
adjustments.
see it?
7,
But like it's hard to
6,
tell too because
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, stackers are done. It's now endurance.
Can I talk to them?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. That's the block. This is a reminder. Everybody has to have their hands on the rope the
steady.
entire
Don't try to adjust too much. Okay. Relax.
Little wobble from Turloose.
Sagging on
Little
my right.
rain.
Sagging on my right.
Someone's
Sagging on my
pulling.
right. Yeah, you go.
All right. Matico has dropped. Turloose, you have won the challenge.
Good night. Just kidding.
Good job, guys.
It did not last all night as I had hoped.
That was a lot harder.
Yeah.
The carbon sugar there, but I think it's the night time.
Yeah, because like you couldn't keep a good.
Congratulations, Turloose. You'll be safe at tomorrow morning's tribal council. Hopefully that was worth waking you all up for a little bit.
Just a little.
Matico, I'll be seeing you in the morning for those things. Otherwise, this is officially good night. There'll be no more.
That's fine.
I got closer. Okay, so day 3.
Oh, it's day 3? I'm tired.
Super excited to be here. Lots happened last night. I got hit in the head with an ember and it burned a hole in my hoodie. And Eric saved my life.
I did not sleep much last night or the night before. I've told the group that if I'm here tonight, I'm getting the blanket and I'm going to bed.
Last night was good. I made the fire and then I just kind of gave up. I let those people deal with the fire because no one else was taking shifts and it was bothering me. So I went to bed and I slept decently well. I actually slept last night. On the first night I didn't sleep at all.
The hunger situation is really starting to set in. I am just thinking about breakfast sandwiches and pizza and burgers and ice cream and chips and you name it. So I'm hoping there's some opportunity to get some food today at some point to help push through the end of this game.
My body hurts. I'm tired. I'm hungry. But this is where things start to pick up. Merge is around the corner, so I gotta get my head in the game. And hopefully, I know last night was a good relaxation because we didn't have to go tribal this morning, which was good. But I slept a lot, which I honestly needed.
But Rachel, like, she doesn't stop snoring ever. And that girl slept for like 12 straight hours. Like, I'll be so real. Rachel she snores when she inhales and she snores when she exhales. And it's exactly when she falls asleep to the moment she wakes up. And I'm gonna go insane.
But like, I don't know if I missed any talk, so I'm gonna kind of feel the vibes.
I regret not voting Rachel out because she snores so much.
I think things have taken a turn for Nina. I went from running the tribe to being at the complete bottom of the tribe.
I'm a little nervous that I could be on the outs. I know a couple of the original Red tribe members approached Drew and said that they wanted to pull them in, and Drew told me that, but they didn't mention my name to come along with Drew.
During the night, Julian was like, want to pull you into the Red, and then Matt was telling him this morning that Eric pulled him in and said, like, want to pull you into the Red, and I was like, okay, that's only good for us. And then this morning it was Rachel, Eric, Matt, and I around the campfire. And then like Eric's like, we'll tell you a name last minute. And I was like, I mean, I'm not gonna say no, but also like, you gotta give me a little bit more than last minute. So we'll see how it goes.
I just feel very alone over here. Like personally, like everyone's great and everything. It's just like very clearly like the Reds just like having a good time, giggling, and the Grays are together and they can just like chill together, and then I'm just there and I'm like, okay.
I feel like I'm playing a different game than I normally play in any game. I'm usually like the loudest voice in the room and I'm like fun and crazy and whatever. But now I'm like playing super low-key, which is like really weird for me, but also like I don't play myself because I'm like tired and this is so hard.
The last conversation that I just had, it was me, Drew, Rachel. And Rachel told us that she has been feeling on the bottom of the Red tribe and that she might be willing to make something happen with Drew and I. So right now, I think a good option could be to go with that and hope that we can pull Nina in. I haven't had a chance to talk to Nina yet. That would be 4 and that would be all we would need. So that's plan A right now, and we'll see how things go.
So I don't really want to save our OG tribe mates because they're the ones that I was most worried about. So I'm glad I got swapped on the tribe with people I did.
I don't think there's necessarily like the biggest threat, as especially with the 2 larger tribes left, as in red and blue, they haven't gone to very many tribals, so they haven't been able to make very much gameplay. And then I'm sure you could look at the remaining gray as targets, but I think also we're seen much more as assets rather than targets at this point.
I've been very vocal about how I felt that I was the bottom of red. I haven't said it to the other reds, but to the other members of my new tribe. So hopefully that kind of gives me a flexibility.
I feel very good about Julian.
But we've bonded pretty well, and we've both said we're each other's number ones, which I hope is true. And I trust her. I want to go far with her. I also know that she's probably a pretty good shield for me because she's very well known in this cast. I already know Nina, who's also here, knows her.
And I trust Nina because Nina's good at these games. That being said, I don't trust Nina because she's good at these games.
Lauren has been very open with information with me. She told me she has an extra vote.
This is my extra vote that I got at the journey. Justin said it's not replaceable, so we're gonna have a real crumpled piece of paper at one of these travels.
She told me everything about the journey. We've been very open about being able to talk strategy with each other, which is fantastic, exactly what I'm looking for in an ally.
He does not know what he's doing, and he talks way too much, and Julian is stressing me out, because people are noticing that he talks too much, and that he doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm scared.
So we've been discussing a lot of how we want to play the upcoming merge, because we have two of our old friends from Turlouse hidden, tucked away at that other camp in a minority, and they're really scared of going to tribal council and getting voted out.
Julian is a big gamer. He's yapping about game talk all morning, which when you wake up after not much sleep, it can be a lot. And he's someone in this tribe that I think hasn't really tried to talk much game with me, and the fact that I know he talks a lot of game in general and he's not doing it with me makes me a little suspicious.
And then, Eric. I feel great about Eric. Eric has told me verbatim, I will do anything that you say, and I just want you to tell me how to play this game. And then he took me to the porta potty this morning and said, I will literally do whatever you want. I don't know how to play this game. I'm just going to do what you want me to do, and you're my number one, and I want to ride or die with you. Girl, where's your brain?
Eric told me that I'm his number one, and that he didn't actually really want to win the game. He wanted me to win it, so he would do what he could to get me to the end, to help me win the game, which, love to hear it, but also I can tell Eric knows a little bit more than he's putting on, so I'm not gonna lean into that too much. I'm gonna be very wary of him, but it seems like he's someone who's gonna want to be loyal for now.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want that. I don't want that for either of us. Love him. He's great. But why?
Kind of letting them take the leader role, letting them kind of lead. I think you're going to see some shakeups soon.
My fears were confirmed talking to Nina, saying that the Greys have been saying they want to work with the Blue to take us out.
I'd say the biggest threat on this tribe right now is Lauren. She seems really great at challenges. She's very social. I've heard she's had really good connections with some of the red members on the other tribe.
Lachey is my bestie. I love Lachey.
So that would be someone that I'd be interested in targeting, I think.
And at the challenge last night, when we got there, she came up to me and went, merge at 12. And I was like, what? And then she was like, merge at 12. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, so that was what I wanted to know first, like what happened on her journey. And then after the challenge, I was like, did you idle? And she went, bitch.
She could work her magic with a lot of different people. She's played LRGs before. She's got a really great game sense.
Some bitches here know about Survivor Northeastern and Can You Survive, and I'm so annoyed about it, and there are people I don't even know.
Lauren's becoming a threat, I think, just because of the relationship she's made. She's been seen paired off with people. And, I mean, Eric's a threat, I think, physically and socially.
I did hear that my name is not mentioned by anybody, so that's good. But I don't think it's placing me high on those who may be really truly playing the game in terms of pecking order.
So my personal strategy is just keep building nice one-on-one relationships with people be likable, don't give people a reason to want to get rid of me, and see if I can stay a little under the radar for the beginning of Merge, and then start turning it up and think about who I would want to be sitting next to at the end. I think I'm not going to try to play a super dominant game and try to control every single vote. I think I'm going to try to single out 1 or 2 people, depending on whether it's a final 2 or 3, that I feel like I could beat sitting next to. And then once we get into the end game, protecting those people and getting myself to the end with those people.
You know, I'm down to vote out a blue if the blue is Kayla or Josh. Preferably Josh. So yeah. So like I could definitely help them.
So far, I've been very loyal and very open about being loyal, but if it needs to happen, I'm gonna cut my allies to try to win this game.
Hopefully we just keep winning immunity, because now that I've gotten the taste of it, I'm like, I absolutely need that again.
There's a lot of talk about Drew, because they are a very strong player. It's very clear. They came to me almost immediately after we swapped and said, I like you and I want to work with you, and we did the puzzle together and we worked really well together. And having someone wanting to work with me is always a great thing. So I'm never gonna say no to someone wanting to work with me. I think a lot of that comes from potentially self-preservation, feeling like they're in the minority, especially because I've heard information about them lying about having never played live games before, and also the fact that I know that by going on a journey, you get an advantage. So the fact that they haven't told me anything about that, an advantage they've had, and there's just like, I don't expect them to be completely loyal and open with me right off the bat, but I'm definitely wary of them, and Drew is not a person I would want to take far into the game. I feel like I'll be most successful on the puzzles and less on the physical stuff. So someone like Drew is going to be an obstacle for me.
I'm just honestly praying for a miracle, and I'm gonna do some scrappy stuff. And I'm definitely, before the next challenge, gonna tell one of the blues I'm absolutely next. So please throw this.
Idols for me are not necessarily something I'm terribly interested in having myself, because they do put a threat on you, and if you need to play one, you now have a threat on you, and I'm trying to play more under the radar. But what's more important to me is that I feel like I know where every single advantage and idol in the game is.
And I'm just praying for Merge as soon as possible, because I know that this tribe is bad news for Nina.
Actually, I found out some news that I didn't know about, that I think a lot of people did already know about, that apparently there's a Redemption Island, and that Ashley had that as a choose your own adventure opportunity. So we're all speculating at some point today, whether it's around the merge or right after the merge, we might have one of our eliminated folks coming back in, which I'm not excited about that news, because a lot of the people that were sent out of the game were from the Grey Tribe because we lost so much, and I lied to most of those people, and they thought that I was with them while they were going out of the game.
I'm here at day 3 of Outlast, and I've made it this far, and I have a lot to be proud of because I've accomplished so much already. I've ticked off some bucket list items. I was the hero and won 2 immunity challenges for my tribe. I've made fire since I've been here, which I've never done before. I practiced fire a little bit before coming here, but I was never able to actually make fire. And I feel like I've already made some really good friends. So I'm not ready for it to be over, but I'm super happy with the fact that I'm here, and it's become a little bit of a bit at camp that I'm always talking about how happy I am to be here, and how crazy it is that we're all here on Outlast. So I'm glad that that's the energy I'm bringing to the game, because I really am super excited and happy to be here. I've been looking forward to doing this for so long. I care about this game a lot. I put a lot of preparation into it, and I've been nervous as all hell to come out here and see how I do, because I've never done a live game before. Don't know how good I am at this kind of stuff, and I feel very in my element right now, which is surprising and very exciting.
Last night was kind of chaotic. I wasn't trying to match any kind of negative energy that was put out. I think my new tribe knows I'm a pretty genuine person. And there are cracks in the blue tribe, the former blue tribe. But for now, they're trying to get all red out, which I'm down. Like, I told them, I just want to get all gray out, then you can vote me out.
We're really hungry, so everyone's kind of fading a bit. I do have a little Nutrigrain
in my pocket. I just gave half to David because, well, we're working together and he hasn't eaten either, so.
She just saved me. I'm having like a morning where I'm just fatigued. I'm hoping there's some food reward challenges today, but probably there won't. So I have a long day ahead of me, and she just split her granola bar that she kept with her since yesterday.
I feel all right about that. There's also one more Nutri-Grain in the box that I almost just stuck in my pocket and to eat right now, but there were too many people close to me and I felt like I don't want to get caught.
And like literally just gave me new life. Like that half a granola bar will be a difference today. I guarantee it. The way I perform, the way my mind's going to work. And now I feel indebted to her over half a granola bar.
Should have taken the other one.
I feel good. I had a nice night's rest at first. It was a little cold later, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that Kayla is dead to me. The more I think about it, the more she's just... I love Kayla as a person and hope you see this, Kayla, because you're great and you're sweet and I like you and you're my friend. But what were you thinking keeping the information that Ashley had an advantage away from me all of day one? It doesn't make sense if you think we're working together and then you reveal it after she's gone. Like, how do you think that makes me feel?
Josh is very erratic and will like pull people for conversation, like mid-conversation with someone else, and it just becomes like very confusing as to like, why is he talking to that person? And then they'll like start to disperse and he'll be like, oh wait, pull him back after they just talked for 10 minutes.
And I don't have any reason to throw you under the bus right now, but I think you're doing that for yourself.
And I did have a conversation with Josh, like, please, like for us both, like we've gotta like chill out and just trust each other to communicate what we're learning. And so he seemed receptive to that, and so hopefully that gets better because we want to obviously keep him as a member for now.
Josh and I were quite close at the start, but as time has progressed, he has become a little paranoid, just like feels a little shaky, and I think I sort of think a little more closely to that of David and Kayla.
I feel good about where I stand with the Blues. And Luke has notched up into #1 spot. I trust Luke and I trust Nina.
Currently, I am working closest with Luke. He is super level-headed, very like kind and just like good, and he communicates extremely well with me and doesn't make me feel like I'm crazy, which I really appreciate.
I'm very close with Luke too. I really love the guy. My worry is more the perception of two tall, kind of athletic build guys. I'm making myself sound a lot better than I probably am. I think I'm like 15 years older than Luke, and I've been talking about how he's like my clone, which he's probably not, but he's my clone from 15 years ago. But I love that guy, and I think I can go deep with Nina, Luke, and then love Josh's energy, and I also really love Kaylin.
David, that man, he's running things over here. If there was any doubt about who is the top dog, it is David, and everyone should be intimidated and try to get him out as soon as possible.
And David is looking like a bigger threat, like the leader of us, and I'm helping to paint that picture.
I think this vote will be a vote on Lachey. I think it will be like what do we have? 7. I think it'll be a 5-2. I think it'll be a 5 Lachey to Austin.
I'm feeling nervous right now. I know that me and Jess are on the bottom of the tribe swap, so I'm hoping that we make it through to the merge.
And then I think coming back, I've really got to do damage control with Jess.
So I had a really good chat with Lachey as well. And I basically just told her everything that I told you, that we hadn't come to a name yet, but I'm very sure that when we get back, like Josh or David, someone will like try, like pull us.
Yeah.
And then once we come out, like I'm myself and Kayla since we took the step back, we're going to push for Austin.
Okay.
That's
where I'm going.
I'm very sure it'll be Austin. And I'll let you know after the chat. Of course, as I said this morning, I understand that you can only trust what I'm saying,
Right,
but
exactly.
can also like not trust any of it at all.
Well, I feel like I'd be naive too. I mean, like,
yes,
just because it's the game. It's the game.
It is the game,
Yeah.
and of course,
And it's not that I don't think you're an awesome human, but like, I want to be here forever. So
yes,
I gotta protect my ass, right?
most definitely. I think coming back, there will be questions as to what happened and why was it Lachey and why was it not Austin. As I told her, that's kind of where I wanted to sort of nudge the vote. And so I think I've got to do damage control by essentially throwing David and Josh kind of under the bus. And that's what I've kind of been sowing the seeds for right now. I've been telling people that David and Josh they were kind of the kingpins of our tribe and kind of like dictated the last vote.
Tribal number 2 of me just sitting here in camp and letting the chaos go around me and just float to the end. And it's funny because I'm the lowest guy here, but I'm choosing who's going home still. Like this is crazy. Like I don't know how this is happening. I don't know. I just bring up the name and they run with it, and then I just sit back and they hash it out. And I didn't expect to be here this far, and it looks like I'll be here at least another 2 more, maybe 3 more travels. So keep hope alive.
This is more of a show than anything. I want the girls to see Austin by himself and to see us together.
The optics of
I've been telling them that we sort of discussed all of them, but it's pushing Austin.
We have guaranteed numbers over there. Who's saying he wanted to work with Lawrence and others? We can guarantee.
Yeah, we can guarantee Lauren 100%. Yeah. So I was like, you scratch my back, I scratch your ass. I said, I can't help you if I'm not here.
Even Caitlin not even telling me that we were brought up. They just said, like, I don't know trust. So I mean, at least he said, y'all were right.
Yeah.
No, it was Austin, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Vote for Austin. Because he's chaos and I don't like chaos. That's no. If I mean there's always going to be chaos in these games, but if there's chaos that I feel like I can stamp out, like those embers that pop out of the fire, like that's what I'm going to do.
He survived so many times. We got to kill the road.
You know, is Austin a cleaner vote because he really doesn't have anyone else he's connected to, and we just like, you know, our hands are clean if we take him out.
The plan right now is for votes to be split on me and the 2 red. And I'm confident I'll come out on top. I trust him.
I think one of the reasons why we have a great relationship with Austin right now is that on day 1 with the first immunity challenge, he just looked heartbroken and devastated. He thought he was going to be first boot, and I went over, nobody was with him. I just went over and just, you know, sort of like an outside the game moment of like, you know, hey, it's not over till it's over for you, man. Like, you know, just stick with it. And I think a little thing like that, when people get empathy, especially in an environment like this, goes a long way.
He's kind of a wild card, but I personally love the chaos that comes with Austin. Like, he's just a bit crazy in the best way, and I think I can work with that.
People I'm working closest with is going to be David and Josh. More so David. He's confided with me about his personal life. So that's pretty cool. I'll let him just tell you all that. Josh, sweet dude. He's down. He definitely wants to work with me in the future. I've been telling him, like, I mean, y'all just give me a name and I'll do it. They're like, no, we want you to be included. So that brings, like, that's good. I haven't had that also game, so.
And I told the girls, like, we had kind of come to the decision that it would be Austin, but we're confirming it now.
Okay.
So that's what this chat is about. We have seen Austin as someone that is kind of like this free radical vote, just floating around, and really want to pick him up for the upcoming merge. We know the merge will come at 12 because Lachey made the choice to have it at 12. So it's quite comforting to know when the merge will come, and then so we can kind of strategize and think about who we actually want to be in the merge when that time does come.
Yeah, so I told the whole tribe about the journey because I didn't want to like be an outcast, or I just wanted to be upfront and honest, and they seemed appreciative, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm tired anyway.
I feel that in my bones.
Yeah, I gotta get some nutrients in my body today, so like, it's not.
And y'all can see we are the bottom 3 in our face being decided by the blue team.
Yeah.
Yay, swap screen! So we're sitting ducks.
But Matt, I guess the only thing we just need to just say once more is how the vote's going.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you for that. I just confirmed it with him. He just double checked.
You are voting
Yes.
We are voting.
Who do you think it'll lean more towards, me or you? I feel like I don't know what happens with me. I don't know what's positive.
I don't know. I just, because I'm like,
But she kept pressing like, okay, we're really close to one.
I also think that there will be votes coming my way because obviously they see, the social acumen that I have. I can't hide it. It's just who I am. So I would be stupid to think that I wouldn't be a target.
The way this vote's going to go is we're going to split it and put 3 on Lachey because I'm worried about her, and then 2 on Jess. And I feel bad that Jess is going to get a couple, and we'll have to do some damage control after that. But that allows us, as far as the math that I'm trying to do in my head right now, is we'll do a 3-2 split, and then with Jess and Lachey, they're going to put 2 on, probably most likely on Austin, because we're telling them we're going to vote out Austin. So we'll see how it goes, but that's what Austin, Luke, Josh, and Kayla and I are thinking. We're going to do a 3-2 split. It's going to be how let's be proactive. Be thoughtful. There's going to be things we can't control, but everything that we can control, let's get ahead of it and put ourselves in the best position. Top 5 is like one of us.
I hate lying to people, but I have lied and looked in the eyes of Lachey and Jess, so sorry about that. But it kind of has to be done. Lachey and Jess both say that they're very close with Lauren, who we all have been very fearful of from the start. Like, she just seems like a very personal player. We know she's a past winner, so we want to kind of like cut off as much of her minions as possible. So we're planning to take out Lachey this round, and telling obviously Lachey and Jess that we're voting Austin.
I shook Dre's hand last night and sort of told him face to face, looked each other in the eyes, told him he was sweet, which I have been thinking about quite a bit last night and especially this morning. But I know that this is the game that I really want to win, and if I expect to win, I really need to do some things that I may not be necessarily proud with.
Last night during travel, I threw my Natiku buff into the fire because it's how I felt. I had no one with me. Like I said, Megan was my final 2 to the end. I promised her I'd help her get her first win LRG, and I felt responsible for that. So I have no loyalty to the gray, so I'll make sure my mission from now on is to get every single gray out before anything happens.
We believe that Drew might have the original Natiko idol right now, which has been found twice already, and but we know was rehidden. So, or we are assuming, since it was rehidden before, we believe Drew has it, and possibly Lauren had an idol, and maybe has passed it off to Lachey. That's kind of where we're at right now. Have to assume that somebody from original Ikochi has the idol, because it doesn't seem like they've been that hard to find. Like when Ashley and I saw the advantage, like it wasn't all that difficult to see, but nobody said anything, which I think is the smart move. I wouldn't say anything if I had it either.
Just running through the options in my head. I just need to get to merge, because if I'm in merge with a few people around me that are bigger targets, which I think I can get, I have a really good shot of making it to the end.
And I think I can make merge. I don't want to count my eggs before they hatch, but I feel very fortunate heading closer towards merge, knowing that I do have multiple ways to get to the end if everything that I believe is true, which not everything is, but I'm just going to continue to try my best and see if I can take home Outlast Season 3.
Hopefully we can go into the merge and team back up with Lauren and Julian and, push through and then battle it out at the end of the game.
If we're pulling off blindsides like this, I want to make sure that I am the one that they're most upset about. Just so that I can have some things to say, I pissed all these people off and I'm still here if I make it that far.
Personalities are coming out now. It's crunch time, so it's gonna be good.
All right.
I feel like there's a lot of smart players over here. They're very thinking a lot and going into multiple levels of thought, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Wish me luck, please.
All right, welcome back, Natiko. We are here on the morning of day 3. Very exciting. You should all be proud to be this far, but unfortunately one of you will be leaving the game after this vote. Kayla, we had a late night immunity challenge. I know you were all super excited to be dragged out of bed. Tell me a little bit about last night and the challenge and how you felt about how it all went.
I think we were expecting at some point for there to be a late night challenge. I think we just kind of were so exhausted yesterday. We were all just starting to wind down. We had a nice fire going. And then, yeah, you came to camp with such great news. But we kind of thought it's better to lose in 1 minute than to lose in an hour. So at least we got a little more sleep.
Yeah, Josh, it seemed like there was a lot of discussion. It seems very passionate discussion about how to do the challenge, what was the right strategy, how is it going to go. Obviously, it's super difficult to keep that disc level and the blocks up there. So talk to me a little bit about how those dynamics worked, and was that at all discussed when you went back to camp?
I think we were pretty tired when we got back to camp. I think all of us are just trying to do the best that we can to create the best strategy for winning. Right? It's not that easy communicating between 6 or 7 people. Who needs to go up, who needs to go down, especially with new people who we haven't even communicated with much before, in a challenge especially. I think it was a shared responsibility. We were all doing the best that we could. So,
Luke, how much strategy talk after that challenge happened last night versus this morning? Kind of what was the dynamics of the strategy discussion about this vote?
So I feel like last night there wasn't a whole lot of strategy chat. It was pretty much kind of get back. Maybe there was 1 or 2 things said, but sort of just get back, kind of wind down, because we were pretty much ready to go to sleep before we were taken for that. But I would say this morning has definitely been where most of the strategy chat has taken place. So this morning when we woke up, we all kind of had some time with each other, just talked about different scenarios and situations, and just obviously thinking forward to the merge. Lachey went on a journey not too long ago, and so we know when to expect the merge. So knowing that that's coming up, just trying to think about what we want our games to look like in the early portion of the merge and who we need to be there.
Austin, pretty intense last tribal council. Curious how you're feeling now, how you felt as you were heading back to camp and kind of wanting to reconnect with your tribe.
I felt the most happy and relieved to have the whole game last night. Finally slept. Genuine people. I know the writing's kind of on the wall of this vote, but at least got what I wanted last night. So that's all. That's all I asked everyone here is just get that out of the way, and then I had a good first half of the game, so I'm happy with everything. So.
Just pretty interesting tribe dynamics here into the swap, right? We've got 4 original Okochi, 2 original Turlouse, and Austin now is the lone Natiko. So do you think those dynamics are at play for this vote or for this tribe? Do you think that will impact that? Or are those tribal lines running deep, do you think?
Yes, for sure. Like the blue group really seems to be super strong with each other. It's been a short amount of time, but I haven't sussed out any cracks. But I tried to make it get abundantly clear how beneficial I could be to their game come merge time, and living on a wing and a prayer over here.
So Lachey, should I interpret that as it is either Austin, Jess, or you that would be leaving this vote? Or
Oh, absolutely. I was flat out told, blue strong, like that's not a question, and is one of us there.
So David, that's a kind of an interesting kind of dynamic for the tribe, right? When there is such a dominant kind of early tribe alliance, how do you incorporate that into your strategy? Because you will have, if that is the case, then one of the 3 of them go. You have 2 of them coming back to camp, right? So that creates a very interesting dynamic for the next step.
Well, we've tried to think about how every scenario plays out. There are also 4 red on the other tribe too, so they're in a similar but opposite situation on the other tribe. So, just trying to think through, if we do, it's sort of choose your own adventure. Like, if we do this, what will happen? If we do something different, what will happen? And we're hoping we choose the right thing. And with that in mind, like, how does it affect, us going forward with whatever decision ends up getting made?
Is there anything else anybody wants to say before we vote?
Yeah, can we talk to other players?
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anything else? All right. We'll kick it off this time with Luke. We're going to snake around. Luke, go.
So this one's pretty simple for us. We're going to vote Lachey just because we feel like Austin can be a pretty important number for us come the merge.
I think it's kind of a tradition now where if you write my name down, you go home. So, there's a lot of cracks in the former blue, and luckily they see me worthy of helping them out to make those cracks even more and take over the merge part of the game. Jess, sweet lady, thanks for being an educator. I support all that. I really wish me, you, or Lachey could have found something to turn the tides. And I wish that Dre didn't act so wild during camp yesterday, because we could have had a solid 4 and turned this whole thing around, but some personalities you just can't convince. Great game though.
I think in a different game, different time, both of them I would have loved to play with. For Lachey, she's made it pretty clear she finds my game threatening. She feels like I'm a leader of the tribe, which in some ways I am, but in a lot of ways all of us are. We've been making a lot of great team decisions.
really sorry for lying to you. Obviously, we just have to cut off the duo of you and Lauren. And I don't know, I'm really sorry.
I suspect something fishy is going on.
All right. Once the votes have been read, the person will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. Again, we follow that path. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol or an advantage and you'd like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Oh, it's gonna be either between me or Jez. They're saying Austin, but numbers-wise, it doesn't make sense. They wouldn't send us back to 6, so it's me or her. But Trey, on his way out, he's like, I wanna trust you. So he gave me his idol.
Sign of trust. If I go out, then you have to. But I'm trusting you. Okay?
And I gave it to Jez, and I got mine, so drinks on them.
Well, Lachey and I have a plan, and we are not going home.
I've
know
got
if we're
a
wasting it,
Outlast
but yeah.
Angel out there. I don't know. I'd rather burn it than go home with it in my pocket. I meant what I said about moving forward in the game post-merge, so I'm ensuring that I'm here to make that happen.
All right, playing this for yourself.
For me!
Now I actually have to find mine.
All right, you playing it for yourself?
Yes. I don't want to waste it, but like she said, I'd rather feel safe, and I don't think it's fair for one tribe to just like steamroll and dictate the game. So this is us fighting.
All right. Anything else?
Damn it! Yeah, I'll do something too. We didn't choose this dynamic, so what's that? What? I gotta play compete. I'm gonna play it myself. Okay. Yeah. I found something today I want to play. Much earlier than I thought. But we're playing with a bunch of people that know how to play Survivor, which makes me nervous.
They know how to play Outlast, don't forget.
Playing with a bunch of people that know how to play Outlast. I'm playing out there.
All right. So I can confirm these are all actual hidden immunity idols, so no votes for Jess, Lachey, or David will count.
Told us you would lie to us. Right.
All right. With that, I'll read the votes. First vote. Lachey. That does not count. Lachey. Does not count. Lachey. Does not count. Jess. Does not count.
Fucking did that. Sorry.
Jess. Does not count. 2 votes left. First vote. Austin. The next vote is for Austin. Austin with 2 votes. That is an aye.
I fucking love this game.
Alright, Austin.
Yeah.
Your tribe is spoken.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. Win it.
Alright. Very exciting tribal. Can't wait to see how it unfolds. With that, you can head back to camp.
You know, I made a great friendships with the new tribe. I played a good game, so I'm not down. Yeah, it's bittersweet. I mean, it took 3 hours to get me out, so they did what people couldn't do. Everyone, I got votes pretty much every trial I've been at, so you know, it took 3 hours to get me out, so I'm proud of that. So yesterday was rough. This was my last game, but that's fun. Yeah, good friendships.
Thank you so much for playing. You do have an opportunity, if you would like, to compete to get back into the game, you would join the others who have opted to live on the outskirts for an opportunity to compete to get back into the game. Totally up to you. It's not required.
Is there any food right now?
There's no food.
I haven't eaten in 2 days, dude. So,
There's no food.
Can you tell me who's there?
I cannot tell you who's there. You have to make that decision. And again, it's not required. Totally up to you.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
You gonna do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So.